9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin.
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight, Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Marcus got the scoop ready to ignite. From the lanes of South Street to the Broad Street lights, dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Fly guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. I like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry. Fly like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry.
What up? What up? What up? What's going on, folks?
What's good? What's
Therapy
good?
session.
Is it?
Tuesday night therapy session for your
Is it?
Philadelphia.
I don't know. Therapy might. I don't know. That maybe. I'll roll with it. You know, because sometimes, you said something to me right before we started. You said, "I got a feeling tonight it's gonna be a lot of feelings involved." And I
Yep.
said, when is there a stream when my feelings are not involved? When am I ever not speaking from corazon, my heart? When am I ever not speaking from it? And we got some things to get into. Y'all know what the vibes are. Y'all know where our baldies be. Y'all tune into the Bald Eagles podcast. He's Marcus Thomas. I'm Tone DeShields the second. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to both channels. I repeat, make sure you guys are subscribed to Pro Fan Talk. Right? Go subscribe to Pro Fan Talk. Very important for you to do that. Go subscribe. And also make sure you're subscribed to Chalk It Up Sports. You feel what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all as always. So let's not waste too much time. Y'all know what your job is here. Kick your feet up, relax. Make sure the kids is ready for school in the morning. Make sure their lunches are packed. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you got going on, put it to the side. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we spoke about this. I think Hard Knocks dropped tonight, right?
Yeah.
So, I may watch it, I may not. We'll see. But let's get into it. Obviously, it's Tuesday. We're coming off of the Eagles' well-deserved loss to the Chicago Bears. They're currently on a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, we got belt to ass.
For sure. And it's funny, they actually got beat the way they've been beating teams for years. Just by running the ball down your throat and not stopping, not keeping it going until you stop it.
Their offensive line was much better than our offensive line.
By far. So where do we begin? Let's start with the most hilarious news. Let's start on a light note. Kevin Patullo's house was egged over the course of the weekend. Was it yesterday? Or was it over the weekend?
Yeah, see, that's not light to me. Because I remember, and I'm going way back.
Mhm.
I remember when they threw rocks and stuff at Mitch Williams' house when he gave up the home run in the World Series.
Right.
And I'm like, when you've been married long enough and you and the wife purchase your first home and you got some idiots doing some knuckleheadedness like that,
Mhm.
I hope they catch them kids and beat the brakes off of them. Because I'm sure that dude got kids. I believe Kevin Patullo got children.
Mhm.
And it's just, when you come to somebody's home, you can talk all the shit you want to. You can call them names. You can say you want them fired.
Right.
All that stuff. But when you come and you damaging property and you taking it to the next level, because to me that's personal. Because you're not thinking about what it can do, the harm it could do, all of that type of stuff. Like, nah, you don't play with that. You don't play with it. And let me be honest with you, that's a big reason why Philly gets such a bad name. Because even now, we got people that still, to this day, will still bring up the damn snowballs at Santa Claus.
Well, for the record, that happened in Jersey. So just want to make sure people understand that happened in New Jersey.
But it's associated with the Eagles, though. You know what I mean?
I know,
So,
I know.
whether it's snowballs, whether it's batteries, whether it's you know, I was with the Eagles when they had the jail underneath the vet.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So rumors aren't always false.
Mhm.
Sometimes those reputations are earned. The problem is it gets spread to the people that don't deserve it. So, like, I remember when a couple years ago, that's 2 years ago now, when Fred Warner's wife said what she said. And then everybody was acting like they was, you know, are you scared to go to Philly? Like, nah. And then shout out to whoever that dude was, the 49ers fan. I was like, listen, like, this is what you expect. And if you can hold your own, if you can take it as much as you dish it out, you shouldn't have no problems in Philly. And that's the long and short of it. But guys like that did that stuff to Patullo's house, that's bullshit. That's crossing the line right there. And you don't do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to toe a line here because, and I know I may be in the minority. I'm a little indifferent. And again, my job is to not just give you guys my opinion and my perspective, but it's important for me to be honest with myself, no matter how I feel about it. I think it's more important to me to be honest with myself before I say something that I don't mean or say something people want to hear. I don't want nobody coming to my house for no reason, especially if you're uninvited. I don't need nobody breaking windows. I don't need nobody slashing tires. And just so I understand, they just egged this house, right?
Apparently
Okay.
throwing eggs.
Okay. So I don't want nobody coming to my house slashing tires. I don't want nobody breaking windows. I don't want nobody hot wiring my car. I got my car stolen before. I know what it's like to be violated at your home. I know what it's like. I got my home broken into quite a few times living in the projects in Philly. I know what it's like. I say all that to say, listen, man, the gig is the gig.
Nah.
The gig is
We're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one.
And I'm cool. And I was prepared for that.
because
I was prepared for that because I remember throwing eggs on Halloween, TPing houses. I remember those. And
here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that.
Okay.
That means
go ahead.
Would it be acceptable if we were top 15 in the league in offense?
You said, would it be acceptable?
Would it be acceptable if we was top 15 in the offense?
Well, I don't think there would be any complaints if they were top 15.
That's my point.
Actually, I think top 15 is still low for them, but nonetheless.
Correct. That my point is that his house has nothing to do with what's going on the field.
You're right. And again, you're right.
As bad as we've been looking,
mm-hmm.
Every game we've had opportunities to win, but we've had a failure of execution by who?
Players.
There we go. And I told you, I've mentioned this before. Your little cousin could call the plays. And if everybody on that offensive line executes like they're supposed to execute, that play is going to be a success.
I hear you. That doesn't absolve him, though.
Not at all.
And we can. I'm not saying, we've talked about this, right? I'm not saying one thing is more important than the other. We talked about the offensive line issues. If the offensive line was playing well, he could hide behind that, run the ball, easy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say one problem is more important than the other. I want to make that very clear. But Kevin Patullo is a problem. Now, again, I don't believe in, I'll put it this way. I'm not going outside vandalizing somebody's house because they lost a football game. That's not how I move as a person. I'm not doing that. That's not how I move at this grown age.
Yeah, but you can't condone that
So-
in no way, shape, or
so-
form.
So
Can't
and you
condone that.
and you said on video it was like it looked like teenagers or something like that.
They're like 3 or 4 young boys.
Young guys. Okay.
So, like, at the very least, high school age.
Okay.
At the
And
very oldest, maybe in college or something like that. So it could have been frat boys or something.
and another question: did they look like you and I, or did they look like the other persuasion?
No. Yes, they look like white boys.
Okay. All right.
But it was silhouettes.
So,
It was silhouettes.
again, like I said, I want to try my best to toe this line because I don't condone vandalism. I don't.
And if anybody's ever tried to clean off egg on their house, not fun.
Yeah.
Nor easy.
Oh, I got a story, but I'm not going to share it because it's too personal, and this person going to be mad at me if I share it. And I got to see this person in real life. So I got to your point, cleaning egg off your front porch or cleaning egg off the front of your house is difficult, especially when it's cold outside.
Don't make your dad mad at you, bro.
Especially, no, it was not my dad, but nonetheless, just know cleaning egg off your house in the wintertime is difficult. Cleaning it off your house in the summertime, it's a little easier.
Yeah.
My mom in the live chat right now, she laughing because she know what I'm thinking about. My mom in the live, Carolyn Palmer, 2903. She right there. She know what I'm thinking about.
All right, mom.
So, but I'm gonna leave it there again. I'm grown. I'm 30 years old. I'll be 31 this year. I don't condone that stuff. I don't believe, like, that's not how I move. That's not in my DNA. But I'm sorry, man. Like, hey, sucks, man. You know, and again, this didn't happen in week 4 or week 5 or 6 or 7. This has been compounding. They've given him grace.
Yeah.
They've given him grace.
Yeah, that's I don't care. That's out of bounds, bro.
And my dad is in the chat too. He said, so do I. I know about the egg, and it's no fun to clean off. So my parents are on your side.
Yeah, you don't. It's like I'll say it like this: when it comes to football,
keep it football, right?
Football, keep it on the field. Keep it in the stadium. If you go all of that stuff, man.
I agree. Keep it.
And again, I understand my experience is going to be different, but to me,
yeah, for sure,
I'm trying to think of a good comp. That's like you had a bad game, and then some fan decides to come in and disrupt you and your family's dinner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you having dinner, and they just want an autograph, and then they want to get into, oh, what happened with that play, and it's like, dude, like, no, don't do that. And some people take it to the next level where it doesn't, like, bro, I'm with my family. This ain't the time.
I'll put you this way. I used to work in property management. And I worked for the largest real estate company in the city of Philadelphia. Right? And you deal with a lot of personalities. And even when I think I'm doing the best I can, it's somebody that believes I'm not. And no, hold on. And I've had to deal with certain things because of the nature of my job. Doesn't mean that they were right or justified. Unfortunately, comes with it sometimes. Now, again, that's not something I would do. I'm not going to sit. If I found out my son did that, I'm kicking his ass. Because now you're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me now. See, a lot of the times kids just do stuff and they only worry about themselves. I grew up in a household where no. I'll embarrass you before you embarrass me.
Absolutely.
So again, I don't condone that, and I wish it didn't happen because that's annoying. Now, let's not pretend he out there cleaning it up because he ain't. Hey, yeah, Stanley Steamer, we need you to hit the front of the house.
Yeah, but that's an irrelevant point. You shouldn't even have.
No, it is. I'm talking tongue in cheek at this point.
I know.
So I don't condone it, It's weird. It's corny. It's low. It's
Yeah.
immature.
I'm
It's,
just telling you that
it's immature.
there are no buts in this conversation.
It's
None.
immature. Okay, no buts.
None. There are
Although,
no buts in this conversation. There ain't no buts. All those, well, but see,
however,
what had happened was none of that. None
however,
of that. I hope they find them kids and beat the brakes off of them, because you making Philadelphia fans look bad. And if you come in my house and throwing rocks and throwing eggs and shit,
let's keep it
and I
eggs.
find you,
It's eggs. It's only eggs. Let's keep it there. It's only eggs.
eggs nothing. Eggs nothing. Nah, don't do that. Don't disrupt somebody's yard. Don't. That's invading somebody's house, man. That's
Oh,
you
no,
invading
I
my home.
I know. And I got a lot of people in the chat. Like I got my guy Eric saying, "Tone, read the room and move on." Hey, listen, bro. This is my room. You're in my house. This is my room. This is matter of fact. This is Marcus Thomas and Tony Shields' room.
Man, because I don't like that. I don't like the national. I guess the national perception of Philly. Everybody thinks fights only happen in Philly.
Yeah,
I did a video last year.
Mm-hmm.
I got to find this video. I did a video last year, and I highlighted all of the fights in the stadiums in every NFL city but Philadelphia.
Right.
Dallas, they drugged somebody. They was dragging this dude on the bathroom floor. Not to mention all the people that have been unalived at Raiders games and stuff like that. So I just hate that it seems like the optics are they only talk about that stuff when it happens in Philly. And don't be surprised if in a day or two, because I heard today where not Ian Rappaport, another one of those breaking news reporters, sports reporters.
I know Garofalo talked about it on NFL Network.
Garofalo, yes. Yeah. When he was he mentioned the throwing the eggs at the house. That story's gonna keep continuing, and then it's gonna be the Philly fans again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and again, I'm just indifferent. Like, it sucks. I'm not going, and I'm not talking to you, Marcus. I'll make that very clear. I'm not talking to you when I say this next point. Like, I'm not going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Peer pressure to feel one way about it. I'm indifferent. It sucks, but it's indifferent. I'm sorry, it sucks, but I'm indifferent. When I saw the story, I was like, damn, that's crazy. Who would do something like that? And then I moved on. I don't have what I don't know what people want from me. I'm indifferent about it. It sucks, it's unfortunate. But hey, all right. You move on. I know one thing for sure though. Brian Johnson didn't get his house egged.
No, he didn't.
What I mean? Brian Johnson never got his house egged. Who else? Kellen Moore never got his house egged. Who else?
We in the same offensive situation as we was with Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I'm trying. The only difference is the only difference is the offensive line's playing better. That's the main difference.
Right.
And we talk about that, right? We talk about how no problem is really more important than I'd probably say the offensive line is the most important problem. If I had to weight it, I'd probably say 40% offensive line, 30% Kevin Patullo, and 30% player execution. If I had to give an arbitrary percentage on it, you know what I'm saying?
I was thinking that too, man, because I almost drank the Kool-Aid about it's all Kevin Patullo, and I still think somebody could come in and do a better job. Yeah, I agree. However, all of this, if you look at all the games we lost, now mind you, take the I'm speaking specifically on our passing game and the successes and failures that we've had in the passing game specifically. I'm taking the offensive line and run blocking out of it. We know they suck. We know our tight ends can't block. We with the exception of Latu is the only one that can block worth a damn. And then when he does it, they don't send him out in pass patterns. So he's a one-trick pony. But when it comes to the passing game, yes, we could have better passing concepts, all of that. However, you got to deal with the hand you've been dealt. And Jalen Hurts, if he makes a couple of throws, I think I said this like 3 games ago when we lost to the Giants.
I remember you said this. You
They were
said
like 3 throws from
yeah,
a whole different.
I'm trying to
Was
remember.
that maybe that was a Dallas game?
You basically mentioned, I can't remember exactly when. I know exactly what you're talking about. This is coming off of the 2-game losing streak to Denver and New York, and you basically were saying, look, if you really look back at those games, what separates it is maybe about 4 or 5 plays of execution.
Correct.
But that's it. That's most games. That's any game really.
Right. If Jalen Hurts hits that pass to Devontae Smith, ain't nobody worrying about, did he miss Dallas Goedert? No, he didn't miss Dallas Goedert.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because based on what I saw and the way he went through his progressions, Devontae was the number 1 read.
Mm-hmm.
So when he turns his head to look at 1, if 1 is covered, then you go to 2, then 3, then back to 1. If 1 is open, then you hit 1 with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He said that they weren't on the same page. He was expecting a hitch or a comeback, and Devontae continued to cross. So if they're on the right page, we're not worried about Dallas. He didn't, in my opinion, he didn't miss Dallas.
Right.
He just didn't get to it because read number 1 was open. At least that's how I take it.
And you take the shot that's in front of you. And this goes
Correct.
back to my point, because I know player execution is super important, right? Because the Eagles have been executing for a while. And when you get this deep into the season, and me personally, when you get this deep into the season and we still talking about player execution and not being on the same page and so on and so forth, now I'm looking beyond players. I'm looking beyond personnel. I'm looking at the messaging. I'm looking at who's delivering the message and who's laying down the law. That's what I'm looking at now. Because again, we're 13 weeks into this shit, 14 weeks into this, and we still talking about not being on the same page. Who not paying attention in the classroom?
But to me, even that's a cop out.
Well, we're not on the same page.
Yeah, being on the same page, like what does that mean? Like,
that's, in my opinion, that's player talk. That's coach talk. That's the equivalent of coach talk when players say that.
Correct. But what that means is, okay, Devontae saw it one way, so he continues to cross. Jalen saw it one way. He expected him to shut it down. Stop right there and turn toward the ball and come back to the ball. I don't know why he thought that.
I don't know why he thought, because it was a quick slant. Why he thought he was going to sit down in that route, and he didn't.
Right. So again, I understand that, but how many times did they run that in practice? I'm looking at it like this. Somebody had to be wrong in that situation. Who was it? Was it Jalen or was it Devontae?
Well, the play call wasn't the problem, clearly.
Jalen, because
he
Jalen threw the ball, and it was a bad ball, and that possibly could have been a touchdown. But who ran the right and who ran the wrong?
I like where you're going with this, because at the end of the day, sometimes it can be drawn. Let's roll with this, right? Let's play it out. Let's say Jalen Hurts made the right decision. That means Devontae saw all that open space and got greedy.
Right.
That's what that means. Because sometimes players see something and they be like, "Oh, I trust my quarterback to make the play." But in that situation, and again, we're playing it out. We're assuming Jalen Hurts made the right read. That means Devontae Smith saw all that space, like everybody else did, and thought Jalen Hurts would see the same thing.
Correct. Now, if you want to really get into the weeds of on the same page and stuff like that, when you have a offense that is operating at a very high efficiency, everybody's clicking. You know that now we getting into unspoken communication. Now we getting into, we know what each other's thinking. We ain't got to say nothing. It's just a look. It's just a head nod.
All right, start right there. These guys have been playing together for this long. These guys, Smitty and Hurts, been playing together since 2021.
Correct.
And them being on the same page never seemed like an issue to me.
Correct. But it was that day.
It's been like that most of the season for everybody.
Well, but I guess my
Well,
point is you got to reverse engineer it. So, okay, they're not on the same page. Go ahead and use those buzzwords. The answer or the question is still why.
why?
Why are they not on the same page? How many times did they run that route? Because this is where it comes down to right or wrong. How many times did you run that in practice last week? When you ran it in practice last week, what did you do? Did you shut it down or did you carry it across the field?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do in practice? That determines who's in the right or wrong.
All right, I like where you're going with this. I like where you're going because now we're talking about guys going, like you said, in practice. What did you do? You shut it down, right? You sat down in that route, right?
Correct.
So why didn't you do what we did in practice? Either A, you got greedy, or B, fuck the messenger. I'm doing what I want to do.
Well, not necessarily, because there is a C. The
And what's
C
that?
is, even though you don't see it, even though we didn't practice it, but if he's coming up your back and he's leaving the inside wide open, you're going to take it across, right? That conversation could have happened. I don't know. That's why practice matters.
And
And
also,
hell, you can probably even go check the NFL page. What's the stats page?
Mhm.
What's the one where they show all the pass patterns? What am I thinking of?
you talking about next gen
Next gen
stats?
stats. Next gen stats. Go look at all of those. I guarantee you, Smitty has we have ran this play before in the past, and that defense has popped up before in the past. And when this situation happened in the past, what did we do? Did Devontae carry it across, or did he sit on it? So there's a lot to go into that. But at the end of the day, that was an opportunity that we didn't take advantage of. I
And
thought the same thing. I'm like, bro, you hit this going across the field. That's money.
yeah, and also that's not why they lost the game, by the way.
No, we still lost the game because our defensive line got blasted.
I mean, you lost the game for a few reasons. One of them being, like you said, defensive line couldn't stop the run. They got destroyed.
They got gutted.
They flat out got destroyed. Honestly, that was probably the most embarrassing performance by them all year long.
And you know what? If we were smart, we would look at that tape and we would implement some of those blocking concepts.
Now we're getting to the conversation I really want to have with you. Because on my stream on Sunday, my stream on Friday after the game, one thing that I kept saying to myself was, how is it? I'm seeing all these various blocking concepts and running plays and how they're finding creative ways to get the ball in Swift hands and Gary's hands, whatever his last name is. It's a young guy. They got. Say it again. Manangai. Yeah, him and they doing jet sweeps and stuff like that. And I'm just saying how well this offensive line is blocking and what they're able to create. And it makes me wonder, I don't see no running plays from the Eagles. We talk a lot about the passing game, but the blocking concepts and just the what we see from them is just not
good.
They're not taking it to the next level. And frankly, let's call it what it is. Since we here now, and I'm not pulling any punches for the rest of the season, I'm not. And that's probably why a lot of y'all mad at me about the whole egg shit with Kevin Patullo. It is what it is. I'm not pulling punches this year. I'm done. I've been, Marcus, we've been doing this show all year long. I've been very measured. And I've been very respectful. And I've been trying my hardest to give guys the benefit of the doubt all year long. If you've been keeping up with me all year long, you know how I've been carrying it. And I've been giving guys the benefit of the doubt all year long, especially the coaches, Kevin Patullo, all that. Beginning of the season, what we said, let's give them 4, 5, 6 games, and let's wait a second. Let's just wait a second. And they're 8-4, right?
Yep.
8-3, whatever it is, 8-4. And so we're 12 games in. And AJ Brown is still spending 90+% of the time on the outside. Devontae Smith is the only receiver we're seeing run in motion. Saquon Barkley is either running an inside zone or a pitch play. The blocking sucks. The only part of this team that I've seen genuinely try to get better and grow throughout the year has been the defense. The offense has been stale all year long. Has the offensive line sucked and had they been unhealthy? Yes. Has Kevin Patullo been awful? Yes. Is Nick Sirianni letting this shit happen in front of his nose? Yes. Has Jalen Hurts been perfect this year? No. But I don't think Jalen Hurts is the problem. All of a sudden, Jalen Hurts forgot to play football. I'm not buying that. So I'm done. I'm done being passive about this. I'm done treating guys with kid gloves. Listen, this Eagles team did remarkable things last year. They won the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP, dominated a divisional rival in the NFC Championship. Dominated your playoff rival, your Super Bowl rival in the Super Bowl. You have legendary written all over your run. Saquon Barkley had an Offensive Player of the Year performance, or a legendary performance by Eagle standards, most yards by a running back by Eagles running back in the season. You have legendary written in stone all over that run. And I even said, hey, you know what? If Jalen Hurts win the Super Bowl, I don't care what he do after that. I said that. And the reason I said that is because he got so much hell coming up and so much hell trying to grind to be a better player. That's how I felt about it. And to an extent, I still feel that way because of how people already saw him for his career. He did more than most guys wish they could do. So,
yeah, but
so what I'm trying to say is what I'm trying to say is the fact that what's been going on, what we've seen, what we've had to watch is flat out unacceptable, Marcus. It's unacceptable because the reality is, and I'm gonna go here with it because I'm pro player, but I'm pro fan too. Shout out to you. I see how much money fans are spending. I see the ticket prices going up. I see the parking prices going up. I see the concession prices going up. I see so many things. I see the memorabilia and all that. I see all that stuff going up in price. But we're supposed to be passive and be okay with what we're seeing and just give guys the benefit of the doubt. Say, hey, give him a chance. Yo, time is money. Money is time. Jeffrey Lurie cut a check for this roster. This roster is designed to win now. They're designed to win now. They're not designed to be wasting time. They just gave Saquon Barkley all that money. They just paid Cam Jurgens all that money. Landon Dickerson all that money. They re-upped A.J. Brown $30+ million over the course of the season. Like, I'm factoring in every variable into this shit. And I'm frustrated. Am I ungrateful? I don't think I am. Because we all know that just as much as the players know, we know it's a year-to-year league.
Well, you're not wrong, number one. But number two, you're talking about the expectations and what you expect from your team, especially under the umbrella of we are just coming off of a Super Bowl that nobody said we could get back to. There's that. That's why, for me, it will always be player execution failure. Because I stand 10 toes down on that. I don't care what Jeff Patullo or Kevin Patullo is calling.
And I think it's because you played and you understand the importance of execution.
Exactly.
And that's why this show works, because you have your perspective.
We can,
and it works, and it's supposed to be this
but
way.
guess what? The Chicago Bears just showed us. Chicago Bears ran the same 4 or 5 run plays the whole game. The cutback, the skinny pitch, then they hand off to the outside, but the cutback lanes was what killed us all game. And they ran it, and they ran it, and they ran it, and we couldn't stop it.
And he was hitting them with combinations.
And even with the 258 yards or whatever they had, we still had a chance to take that game back. And for me, and this is where I got to look squarely at Jalen Hurts, I'm taking Kevin Patullo out of the picture. He ain't going nowhere. So we got to deal with him.
Yeah.
Guess what? Deal with what's in front of you. Control isn't Jalen Hurts the one that says this? Control what you can control. All right? This is what you can control. If we got an open man, you have to see him. You got to get the ball to him. Because we've had flashes. We've had halves of brilliance. And then we've had halves and quarters of just straight trash. So if you can do it once, you can do it again. My question is, why can't we be consistent? Why can't we figure out? Why can't we call hot routes? Why can't we if you've done it once, you can drop back and you can deliver that ball to AJ Brown and trust that he's going to make a catch. You've always been able to do that. So why are we even getting to a situation where AJ Brown is only getting 1 and 2 catches or 1 and 2 targets a game? How did we ever even get to that point? But at the end of the day, if Jalen Hurts is out there and there's an open man and he misses him, that's on Jalen Hurts. I don't care what Kevin Patullo called. As bad as he called that offense, we still had men open and we didn't make the pass. So I got to put that on Jalen.
I hear you, right? And I won't disagree with the fact that notion. I won't disagree with the notion that Jalen Hurts has to do his job. He has to do his job. You got to make the layups, right? But what happens when, in you trying to do your job, you're ill-equipped for speed bumps that may come across the way?
That part I understand.
What happens when hey, I'm running the plays how they're designed, but the defense is 1, 2, 3 steps ahead because they've seen it 500 million times. The Eagles, highest hit in the league, highest hitch route rate, the lowest cross route rate, bottom 5 in pre-snap motion, bottom 2 in play action fakes. AJ Brown lines up in the slot less than any other receiver in football. AJ Brown is a weapon. He's not scheme dependent. He can line up in any offense and get busy.
That is correct.
I'm trying to understand how Kevin Patullo sings this gamut of talent and weapons. And he's doing the same shit, the same route concepts every week. That's not computing for me.
It ain't computing for me too. And I guess I've stopped asking that question because I know I'm not going to get an answer.
13 games, 14, 12 games.
Again, what did I just say? Control what you can control.
He's not trying to break trend. Like, he has no tendency busters or trend busters. Yeah, like he's and then I watch these press conferences, bro, and I get so pissed off. He's so fucking smug, bro. He's so smug. Like he know he ain't getting fired. He talk like somebody that's too safe. I don't like it.
He's not safe. He's not safe at all.
We know that. In the end, he's not.
Yeah,
in the end.
Yeah, but no, don't get it twisted. He knows that. You know that when you take the job. Your job is always at risk. And you know what? We can go back and say, hey, Dougie P didn't think he was getting fired either. And then it just happened. It's good until it isn't. So no, I don't think he feels that he's safe. I don't think Sirianni feels that he's safe.
This is one of those situations where it's like, yo, all you had to do was not fuck it up.
Yeah, you can say that, but
don't fuck it up.
It again, I can't worry about my train of thought. My logic is this: yes, it was supposed to be one way. Now it's not. Now what? Now what you gonna do?
Have you ever played for somebody you didn't believe in?
Yes.
I'm not sure. Oh yeah. Have you ever played? You said yes.
My first year in the World League, the head coach got fired, bro.
What happened?
Got fired.
Now let me ask you this: How does that affect your performance on the field when you're playing for somebody you don't believe in?
Because you basically, your attitude is like F this, and it's not the games. You're gonna always try to ball out in the games. The practice is what does it. For me, when they fired Kid Herrick, my first year in the World League, he was doing some off the wall shady shit. There's some prerequisites and some things that you know as players. Mm-hmm. If we going in practice, I'm not cutting my teammate. I know we doing blocking drills against the linebackers and blitz pickup against the linebackers. I'm not cutting my teammate. I'm not going down to his knees. I'm not doing that in practice. This is some of the stuff that this dude was doing. Then there was some other stuff. He was treating Doug Williams Doug Williams wrong. Doug Williams was one of the ambassadors for the World League. Everybody knew Doug from the Redskins, World Series, first black quarterback to win, all of that. And they still treated him wrong. Regardless of what he was doing to us, that's what got him fired. What got him fired was he was trying to have meetings without Doug, and Doug said, F this, you ain't treating me like this. Called the league and was like, I'm out. And the league was like, no, we're going to get rid of him and keep you because your name is more important to everything we're trying to do. But we didn't want to deal with this dude.
So
He was off, but here's the funny part.
Mhm.
There was still some guys on the team that were loyal to him. And when he left, they left. So you always going to have that contingency of people that they're going to be loyal to a fault. And the guy that replaced him with, we ended up winning the championship with him the next year. We went from worst to first. So I've seen both. I've been in the mix in something like that. When the locker room was like, man, we ain't trying to hear you right now. But when you're in a situation like that, the only thing you have is game day.
Stop right there. Right? Just stay there for a second. Because before you get the game, a lot of players say, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of players say, hey, Sunday's the easy part. Monday through Saturday, that's the tough part.
Correct.
So
Correct.
what happens? So if they don't believe him, let's play this out. If they don't believe in Patullo and it's affecting practice, we don't think that can affect the game, no matter how much you want to ball out?
No, it does. I'm not disagreeing with you,
Okay.
but I will say this: I don't think that's the problem. I honestly believe them when they say it's not Patullo, it's us. Because Patullo,
the players when they say that, you believe them when they say that?
Me?
When the players, okay.
I believe it because we've been good enough to win in spite of.
Stay there. Jalen Hurts said it multiple times. Talent is never truly enough.
Correct.
It's never enough. In the end, it's never enough when teams know your plays. They know what you're doing. You see, that's cool when the predictability is not there.
But Tone,
when you're predictable,
what does knowing your play have to do with losing a one-on-one battle?
If I know where you're going, if I know where you're going to be, that's half the battle, is it not?
Nope.
I'll defer to you in that regard. Then
it doesn't matter if you know where I'm going or not. If I'm better than you, I'm gonna beat you. I don't care if you know where I'm going. Like I said, I used to use that example all the time. We used to run it again. Defense, we running right here. And the coach would say, you got him, run it again. We run it right here. We're gonna run it till we get it right. And we got it right.
How much does good coaching and bad coaching have on your margin of error?
A lot.
Kevin Patullo gives them no margin for error.
Yeah, but also when you're at this level,
mm-hmm.
the prerequisites are you know what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know, and again, Kevin Patullo ain't got nothing to do with Landon Dickerson not sustaining that block.
Yes.
It ain't got nothing to do with Tyler Steen and Fred Johnson falling down on a block and letting the guy come in and get a tackle for a loss. It ain't got nothing to do with Cam Jurgens being a turnstile at center. That has nothing to do with Kevin Patullo. Them dudes, Jordan Mailata should be able to do that stuff in his sleep. He's done it before in the past. Why is it different? Statler ain't coaching you no different. I damn sure know Statler ain't coaching that. So at some point, again, regardless of what the coaching is, regardless of what the scheme is, because again, let me be clear. So there is no misunderstanding. I'm not happy with it either. I don't like the way they run the ball. I still think they need to go to some zone reads. Jalen needs to run the ball. It's a lot of stuff that they could do better, and they're not taking advantage of it. That is on Kevin Patullo. But the plays they are calling, we can go scheme all we want. But when we get a ball to Saquon Barkley and there's already a guy 2 yards in the backfield, damn near getting a handoff, it ain't nothing he can do. If he's making guys misses and he's still barely getting to the line of scrimmage, what are you going to do? They killed him. They killed Patullo because we ran the ball, 9 times a couple weeks ago when we had the 21-point lead?
Mm-hmm.
We ran the ball 9 times after that. Or in the whole game, he had 9 carries. Really 8 and a screen pass.
In 2 weeks, Saquon Barkley only has 19 carries.
Correct. But what are you
2 weeks.
supposed to do when you can't block? When
Right.
you can't run block? What are you going to do? And then the game, now this is where I will place blame on Kevin Patullo. Because against Chicago, he looked like we getting 4 and 5 yards of crap. And then we stopped doing it. So at the end of the day, the guys are on the field. You got to do what you're supposed to do. You got to do your job. And I don't care who calling plays. I don't care if they brought back Frank Reich. I don't care who they brought back. The way the line is blocking right now, the way our tight ends are just hot garbage.
You can't outcoach bad blocking.
No. So there is literally nothing. Why are we going to give Saquon the ball? To get him hurt?
So then, okay. Because again, like, and this is why this is frustrating, because it's, you talk about one, not you, but like we talk about one problem, and it's like all this stuff is just connected. Like
it's a domino effect, bro.
This stuff is connected at the hip. Like all this stuff is conjoined quadruplets. Like
they're not conjoined. It's a Jenga tower.
This thing is nasty. It's messy, and
one block out of place, the whole thing tumbles.
It's just, for me, it's just like, yes, the offensive line has been hurt. And when all else fails, we all knew that the Eagles could run the ball. That's one thing we all knew. When all else fails, they can run that route. This is the first season in a while where I'm like, yo, we look handicapped.
Yeah.
And
we are in a situation.
To your point, right? No, hear me out real quick. To your, like, okay, running the ball not working, you passing the ball, right? So let's stay there. All right. So I want to play it out step by step. You can't run the ball. You're struggling with that. All right. You're passing the ball more. That means the ball's in Jalen Hurts' hand more. That means Kevin Patullo's role expands on a play-by-play basis.
Mm-hmm.
He gets exposed when, and I'm talking about Kevin Patullo, he gets exposed when those passing plays start to rack up. And it looks like guys are beating receivers to their own routes consistently. They're watching the film. They're watching they're watching it all. And remember last year when people talked about the Eagles, they was like, the Eagles don't really run too many different plays. They're not that complex. They're just really, really good. That's what everybody kept saying last year. The Eagles don't do nothing complicated. They're just so much better than you.
So much better.
But what happens when players take a step or two back? Coaching has to make up for that difference and get guys in position to be successful. Now, I'm not saying players should be allowed to slack off. I'm not saying that. But I feel like as the coach, as the OC, as the guy they hired to keep this train on the tracks, you have a responsibility to help get your guys going and put them in positions to win.
I agree.
I don't believe by any stretch of the imagination, Kevin Patullo has consistently put this team in position to win.
You are correct. Now what?
It is what it is.
Thank you. Control what you can control. That is specifically my point. I'm not disagreeing with anybody that think Kevin Patullo is not doing a good job right now.
You're just trying to move it forward at this point. It is what it is.
Exactly.
What's next?
Nothing's gonna change. Whatever they tell me, I'm gonna believe them. I'm gonna take you at your word. Nick, if you told me Kevin Patullo ain't going nowhere, I'm gonna take you at your word. If it's not it's just one person, it's a lot of things going on. If that's what you say it is, I'm gonna take you at your word. So, what's the next thing that we can do? The guys that are on the field have got to figure it out. And if you want to break down the tape and watch our offensive line and figure out what they are not doing, it makes it seem like the situation with Kevin Patullo is way over there. Because the problems that they're dealing with is like, come on, you was Pro Bowl last year. Now you can't hold the block.
And that's scary to me.
How
That
you
scares
going?
me.
I saw one play. Dickerson and Mailata double team. Mailata reaches up for the linebacker, and as soon as he goes up to the linebacker,
I know what you're talking about.
loses his block. Dickerson loses his block.
They both left the dude. They both left him thinking one person
Right.
was going to stay. Like, and this goes back to the conversation that's happening in these film rooms. What are they talking about, Marcus?
That's what I don't know. I can't answer that because there was a point in time where they were doing it right. That's what I want to figure out. That's the question I want to ask. When if I want to go back, just like when I did that video on the tush push, right? You go back to 2023 and 2024. Jalen, slide to the left. Jalen, slide to the left. Ain't no problem. We killing it right now. Can't nobody stop us. 98% effectiveness. Can't nobody stop us. They hate it. They want to ban it. Can't. Now we start going straight ahead. Now Jalen Hurts start jumping, start leaving his feet. Now they stripping the ball. Where did this come from? They've been trying to strip the ball last year. Remember the dude jumped offside like 8 times in the game?
Mm-hmm.
They've been trying to do that. How come all of a sudden now they get successful at it? What did we start doing different? You know what? We started going straight ahead. You can't go straight ahead. You ain't got no leverage. What difference does it make if you squat 605?
You know,
if your feet are off the ground.
You know what stood out to me too? Remember the 2 plays because the Bears had opportunities to do some quarterback sneaks of their own, and they didn't overcook it. They didn't overcomplicate it.
They did a quarterback sneak.
They lined up like normal, and Caleb Williams got like 3 yards every time because
you know what a quarterback sneak is? Is when your quarterback comes down, everybody knows where he's going. But you know what a quarterback does? He looks to the left and to the right of his center. Where is the gap? Where is the easiest course of action? This is where the talk comes into play. You talking to your lineman. Who's killing a man? Who's winning their battles?
Mm-hmm.
If Dickerson has been winning the battles, I'm going left. If Tyler Steen has been winning battles, I'm going to the right. That's when stuff like that matters. But at the end of the day, you got a 6'3" quarterback back there that's leaning forward. He gonna get a couple of yards.
I don't think they got to line up in a tush push formation every time either.
You know,
I don't think. And again, that goes back to the lack of like just thinking, just not thinking. Like you don't have to. You don't have to.
What happened to the old days? What happened to the old days when the tailback would go over the damn top, just jump over everybody,
or just like. Again, I'm not seeing guys thinking on their feet. I'm not seeing guys say, "Hey, listen, if we line up with a tush push, they know what's coming. Hey, let's just line up like normal and her just get that yard."
Thank you.
Like where you know what I think? I hate a person who wants to be the smartest person in the room at all times, and it just seems like sometimes I don't see a man that's thinking.
I agree with you.
I don't see a man that's thinking. I see a man that's just.
I'll give you a great example.
Let's try this play.
I'll give you a great example. I don't know if a lot of people caught it because it wasn't broadcast in this area. Did you see the Browns game?
I didn't.
The Browns had the ball on the 1 yard line, 4th and goal. Shador gets him down there. What do? They try to do a wildcat handoff with their tight end. You muted.
I saw the first one with the running back, and they got the touchdown on that.
Yeah, but they then try to do it again with Harold Fannin Jr., who is a rookie, who is a tight end, who is not used to taking snaps, and it's cold outside.
I got a theory about that too. I got a theory that Stefanski wasn't just trying to be creative. I got a feeling Stefanski didn't want Shador to own those drives.
I agree.
And like what I mean by that is like for people who don't understand, I feel like Shador, he got us down there. Let's take him off the field in the red zone so he don't get the touchdown. He don't get the
why would you do that in the cold? The weather was horrible. The wind was up. He had a couple passes get away from him. It was But when you're on the goal line and you want to snap it to somebody who's not used to taking snaps, let alone in the cold weather.
That's what I'm saying.
And,
You rather have the ball in the
and,
tight end's hands than your quarterback?
Judkins been killing them. Had over 100 yards. He the best player on the team right now. And they did something like that. But I mean, I'm saying that to say that you have a recipe. How about you give the ball to your 6'1", 230-pound running back that runs a 4.3? How about you get the ball to him and let him get 1 yard for you? Rather than we don't have to do the brotherly shove every time.
You don't.
And now that people are pinching down, you can run the variation, you can run the jet sweep off of it, all the stuff that we tried to do before, do it now. You got to do something to keep people off guard.
And that's my problem. Kevin Patullo is not doing anything to keep anybody honest.
No.
Nothing. I was watching Ben Johnson calling plays, and I'm seeing the man that's thinking. I'm seeing the guy that's trying to exploit. I'm seeing the guy that's actually coaching.
And you know what's funny? Chicago passed like crap that game. They were horrible in the air.
Horrible.
Was terrible in the air. But we could not stop the run. But all I saw was double teaming and that tackle reaching up to the linebacker, and them cutback lanes was pretty.
Wide open, like bro.
And DeAndre Swift, they kept running it and they kept cutting it back, and we kept over. You know what? We weren't even over pursuing.
Wide open like a cheap hooker.
We wasn't even over pursuing. They were just getting the backside blocks and letting the running backs do what they do best. And then we had that one little stretch, and everybody was like, damn, where was this at the whole game? AJ and Jalen going off. This is what we, how come we see glimpses of it? Like, where does this come from? And how come we can't tap into that anymore?
That's why I don't buy the notion that all players aren't executing. Like, if you're not executing, like, you don't just turn it on. You tell me this all the time. You like,
well, let me be clear.
Turn it on.
When I'm talking to, let me be very specific. When I'm talking about execution, number one, I'm talking about our offensive line.
Right.
Number two, I'm talking about our tight ends by extension, which is our offensive line. And number three, Jalen Hurts has not played that bad. However, there have been enough times where he has had an opportunity to get the pass off and keep the drives moving, and he didn't. That's the problem. The opportunities that we do have, in spite of the bad offensive scheme, the bad blocking, when we get those opportunities, that just makes them more valuable. And when it comes, you got to take advantage of it.
And when you don't get it, it hurts you even more.
It hurts you even more.
And that's why the Jalen Hurts disrespect is so illuminated, because the opportunities are so, people recognize that because of this coaching and because of what they're doing offensively, the opportunities are so far in between that when you miss it, everybody see it's a bigger deal than you go watch any football game. Players are going to miss receivers all the time, or quarterback, excuse me. But because of what's going on with the Eagles, it's super inflated because they recognize this offense has been so inconsistent. So when they finally got a shot and they don't make it, they don't. Again, that goes back to my conversation about margin of error with this team. Margin of error. Kevin Patullo gives them no margin of error. Gives, like, at the very least, I expect a good coach to give you an edge. I don't expect a good coach to take you over the top, maybe, but I expect a good coach to give you an edge.
Well, he can give us an edge. The only problem is he only gives us an edge for a half.
Like Sean McVay, he gives. Matter of fact, them years when the Rams would start off slow, whatever, and then they would still find a way to sink into the playoffs, but they weren't dominant, but they were coached well enough where they were able to be good teams and get into the dance.
They can surprise you.
Right. Sean McVay, him alone gives you an edge. Kyle Shanahan gives you an edge. Ben Johnson, clearly, he's given that roster is pretty much not entirely, but that roster, the Bears roster is. I thought they had a good roster last year. I don't think that roster is that much different. And you see the difference between coaching. You see the difference in how guys respond when they believe in somebody that's telling them what to do. We've all been in school. We've all worked for various companies in our life. When you got somebody that's ahead of you or above you that you don't believe in, it affects your performance.
Absolutely.
It affects your performance. And I don't care what these players say. All they can do is take accountability for themselves. That's all that's what they're professionals. That's what they're supposed to do. I think if you lock them in a room, you say, yo, what's really going on? You know what they say? Yo, he don't know what the fuck he doing.
Well, if you remember when we had Barrett Brooks on, Barrett Brooks would always tell that story when the offensive coordinator just basically quit. When you lose the room like that, I don't know if it's like that with the Eagles, but that's all that happens is that when you in that meeting room or you going over your game plan and everybody's looking at you with the arched eyebrow, like we already know that this shit ain't gonna work. So it is what it is.
Like but all you have is your talent. That's all you have is your talent.
But that's when you get that I'm gonna go for mine attitude.
And what has been the narrative this year? For example, AJ Brown, or even Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts miscommunicating on that route.
Yeah,
Devontae, I'm gonna go for mine.
Possibly.
And look, Devontae not a selfish player, but he's a wide receiver at the end of the day.
But you know what? I even me and Seth was going back and forth because I saw Seth's comments and I was like, dude, it was like after that conversation he had with Jeffrey Lurie, and now you complaining because now he's not saying anything.
Oh no, I don't agree with that notion. Like that.
I was like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't.
Yeah. I was going to say that's a catch-22.
I understand the sentiment. It's like now all of a sudden he getting the passes, and now he ain't got nothing to say. He happy now. I'm like, no, he ain't happy. The passing game still sucks.
Inconsistent.
That was a whole bunch of damn stat padding last week,
and he know it.
Correct. And in this whole situation, and this is the thing that frustrates me with the whole AJ Brown situation. In this whole situation, AJ Brown has never
been wrong.
Said one thing incorrect. He hasn't. The only problem is y'all didn't like the messenger. That's it. Y'all didn't like the messenger. Go all the way back to the Carolina game last year.
He's never said anything wrong.
He ain't never said anything wrong. He was 100% spot on, and y'all just got pissed off because he said it. Everybody was all in their feelings. And guess what? When he threw for 109 yards against Carolina, he wasn't good. And they still won. That has nothing to do with Jalen Hurts being as good as he needed to be when he had to be in the biggest game. Because there's some people that are the be-all, end-all of quarterbacks, and they still can't win in the playoffs. So the stuff that you should give him credit for, you don't want to. The stuff you want to rip him for, you go overboard with. I'm just trying to keep it 100. As much as I love Jalen Hurts, and that's my QB1, I will ride for Jalen Hurts. But as somebody that played in this league, you still got to keep it 100 because tape don't lie. You missed that guy. You should have made that throw. If you make those throws, we are having a totally different conversation, regardless of Kevin Patullo know what he's doing or not. That pass was open. You missed that open receiver. All of that stuff. That is what the QB1, that's the crown that he wears. He got to deal with it, whether it's Kevin Patullo's fault or not. And I give him credit for even saying it. I know it's going to come to me.
Mm-hmm.
But when everybody else say it, he's stand-up guy and all. Miss me with all of that because the energy ain't the same when it happens to Jalen as opposed to everybody else.
I agree with you, and I'm so
Matt
glad
Stafford was y'all boy, and they got ran by damn Carolina.
Mm-hmm. And I've been telling people about Carolina all year. I said, listen, they coming. I just bet on them too soon.
2 picks in 3 plays with a pick 6.
Yep. Yeah. They got pounced on.
Let's see if they keep that same energy.
Right.
Everybody gets a turn. Our defense gets a turn. Our defense been playing ball out, and they've been paying their half of the rent all year. And somebody we got. And here's the kicker. So now the defense needs the offense to score points. And we couldn't do it. And
frankly, even though they gave up all those rushing yards, and we always go back to this, They gave that offense plenty of opportunities to win that game.
Plenty.
Plenty of
Jalen
opportunities to win that
Hunt
game.
gifted you field position, and
Gifted
we
you-
end up fumbling the tush push. Come on, son.
Oh, that shit it's crazy.
Execution failure, bro. And I will continue to say it like this: as bad as Kevin Patullo is, as bad as you think he is, every game that we have lost this year, all 4 of those games, we still had opportunities to win. We still had opportunities to win. This was the first game where we got our asses whooped, and we still had an opportunity to win.
Yeah, at the line of scrimmage for sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I look at it from the standpoint of, do we need? We're not getting a new offensive coordinator. That's not going to happen. Do we need one?
Yeah.
Yes. Do we need one to win these games? No. Because I'm looking at some of the stuff that we're doing and the stupid penalties and costing ourselves drives and all of the dumb other shit that happens. You still got to get through that. So it comes back to, like, remember what I used to say with the defense? Every time the defense gets their hands on the ball, they got to come down with that interception, that turnover. Because those opportunities, what happened in the Dallas game? Zach Bond drops that pick, hit him dead in the hands, and then they go down there and score. That was our opportunity to turn the game. The same thing happens on the offense. Jalen, if you got somebody open, you got to make that throw. I don't care if it's a deep ball, short ball, middle ball. I don't care what it is. If they open and they can keep the drive going and keep the defense on the bench for another 4 plays and give them some more rest, you got to make that throw.
And that's what I be talking about. When I watch the games, I'm like, okay, you got to sustain. I'm like, okay, you got to sustain this drive. Your defense was just on the field, back-to-back drives, and they went the distance. And okay, maybe they only gave up 3 points, but your defense was on the field for 15. Your defense was on the field for 25 plays in less than 3 minutes. He was on the field for 25 plays. You got to help them, even if you just get a field goal. Sustain the drive. And another thing, the penalties have been egregious,
ridiculous.
Like, I mean, ill-timed, gut-punching drive, killing penalties.
Dude, we 2nd and 5. AJ Brown, how many times you got to jump off sides, bro? What are we doing?
Turn a 2nd and 5 to a 2nd and 10.
But
they converted it, but still.
That's the stuff I talk about. You think they practice jumping off sides during the week? That's an AJ issue. That's my only criticism with AJ. Because those mistakes, like, why are you making that mistake? So there's something, because a lot coaching is telling you what to do, right? We want you to do this. This is what if you see this, they're gonna show you the ins and outs, right? But when you at this level, man, what else are they gonna show you that you haven't seen before? What else do you need to see to know that you got to jump off side? That's a brain fart, bro. They didn't coach that. That's on AJ. Jalen Hurts, you threw the ball too long, or you threw it out of bounds, or it's a bad call and they was waiting for it. That's a you problem. You got to fix that. The times that we run it, you got to run it successfully. Period.
Did you know AJ Brown has 4 false start penalties on the season?
Yeah. How many times has that happened in the past?
He has 4 false start penalties on the season and 7 total.
When we lost that game to Dallas, folks is fumbling the ball that don't never fumble the ball. We doing things that we normally don't do, and we still had an opportunity to win. So to me, it all comes down to you got to be a good enough team to recognize when that opportunity presents itself and take advantage of it. Yeah. Now, humble servant, I agree with you 100%. Tank Bigsby, that's a Sirianni problem. That's a Patullo problem. So I look at that. Vic Fangio, Jahad Campbell doesn't get a snap. That's a Vic Fangio problem.
Wait, what you say?
Jahad Campbell didn't get no defensive snaps. He played special teams like 2 or 3 plays. He did not get. I don't believe he got a snap on defense.
I didn't even notice that. For real?
Exactly. And they needed help because, N'Kobe Dean needed help,
I didn't even notice that.
but they kept running the ball.
Because I should have.
Running the ball. They kept running the ball. We knew what they were doing, and I guess they have Jahai for his speed. They have him out there on pass defense, but they kept running the ball.
Look, man. It is what it is.
The scary part right now for me.
Yeah. Go there. Let's go there so we can close it out. What's the scariest part for you right now?
The scary part is how often we are losing the chess match. That's what worries me. We losing the chess match and we shouldn't be.
Yeah, and that's
because we get into the third or the fourth quarter, and then we get a couple of good moves in, and then again, like I said, where did this come from? And why haven't we seen it before? If we got to go tempo the whole freaking game, then go tempo the whole freaking game. I don't care. Everybody's saying, reports coming out that Jalen Hurts said he want to stop running. I understand because he don't want to get his head blowed off. Donovan McNabb did the same thing. He did the same thing. I'm bulking up. I don't want to be a running quarterback. I got to protect myself. So I'm not going to be running as much.
Yeah, or at least save it until you get closer to playoffs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, try to save that. I get it because Jalen Hurts is on pick.
That's part of the non-turnovers, though. Jalen Hurts has not been bailing out of the pocket. He's taking more sacks because he's staying in the pocket. Remember when people used to get on him because he bailed too soon? Well, now he's staying in. Now, you can push that on to Patullo and Sirianni. Why is he staying in the pocket and we taking all these coverage sacks? Because you don't want him to push the ball and try to thread the needle. No, you don't do that. They too good in the NFL. That's what they want you to do. He was doing the right thing, protecting the ball, and the winning percentage when you don't turn the ball over is ridiculous. And we were making that true. The minute you start taking risks, you get got. Because eventually they gonna get you. Ask Matthew Stafford, ask Jared Goff, ask Brock Purdy.
To your point,
you name any court. I asked Josh Allen and Lamar.
If the Eagles didn't turn the ball over in that Bears game, I bet you they win it.
I agree 100%.
If they don't turn the ball in that game,
if we don't fumble the ball on the goal line, it's a different. The conversations are different. The way you handle yourselves are different. The way the plays you call are different depending on the score of the game. So we had opportunities and we didn't take advantage of them. That's why we losing. And to me, and I'll say it again, as bad as y'all don't like Kevin Patullo, I'm right there with you. However, every time I see Cam Jurgens missing the block, Tyler Steen or that offensive line, or Grant or Calcaterra not blocking the end. Every time I see something like that, I'm like, Kevin Patullo can't help that.
You know what it is? Problems are just compounding problems.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Problems are compounding other problems, and it's making it difficult to really point out the bad guy.
Yeah.
And that's the most annoying place to be in. I like being able to find the mouse in the house.
We like to be in control, bro.
But when I can't, when there's so many things going on, I can't even. It's easy to fix. It's easy to fix one leaky faucet. But when all your faucets in your house leaking, you can't keep up.
Yeah, and so what do you do when the house is leaking? What do you do?
You bring in a professional.
You got to turn off the water.
Got to
so your whole house don't get flooded. You got to turn off the water.
And okay, stay there. Now, metaphorically, what is that for the Eagles? What's turning off the water?
For me, turning off the water means you got to stop making them stupid ass mistakes. You got to stop leaking. And that's tough because everybody makes mistakes. And the mistakes I can handle. Stupid mistakes are the ones that piss me off.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing when a ref calls offensive pass interference. And you know it wasn't. You can't do nothing if Cooper DeJean makes a tackle and the receiver turns a certain way and it ends up being a head-to-head shot and we get called for targeting. You can't do nothing about stuff like that. You can't do nothing when Reed Blankenship is in coverage and he slips and they end up getting the first down. Shit like that happens. That's the bad stuff that happens on both sides of the ball. We only pay attention when it happens to us.
I've been seeing the Eagles slip a little too much this year. I think that equipment team need to be reevaluated.
Nah, it ain't got nothing to do with equipment.
Listen, listen, Marcus. I'm trying to find where the bleeding is coming from.
Understand something.
I'm trying to find. I'm so pissed off. I'm ready to blame the lunch lady, Marcus. What you feed these motherfuckers? What's in the water?
You put raisins in the potato salad, bro.
What's going on? I'm ready. I'm ready to blame the dude that put the paint on the field. That stuff that just happens. That it's frustrating, yes, but that stuff that just happens. When Saquon slipped, I was like, I've been there before. Yes, you got on the inch and a quarter studs. You got on the right shoes. You got out there and you ran in practice and you chopped it up with your feet and the turf was good. You just hit that spot with the numbers painted on it and you caught a slick spot. And another thing is you tried to cut with your inside foot. That happens when you're moving too fast and the hole opens and your legs are trying to catch up with your brain. You end up trying to change direction on your inside foot instead of planting on the outside foot. There's something, when you're trying to make it happen as you see it. And sometimes you ain't got time for another step. Sometimes you get it off and sometimes you don't. Yeah. But stuff like that happens all the time. What I'm more worried about is jumping off sides. What I'm more worried about is holding when we get that 20-yard gain or that touchdown. What I'm more worried about is Jalen Hurts hitting that open receiver when he's open and keeping the drive going. That's what I'm worried about. And also, Kevin Patullo, you want to do me a favor? Figure out how we can get our tight ends to block better. Do that. Because you getting Jalen Hurts killed out there because his backside is exposed. And now everybody knows it. So let's go through these super chats, bro. Yeah, let's go through the super chats and close this thing out, man.
Yeah, man.
Where we at with it?
Start
the shop, Justin Long. He says, fellas, thank you for the super chat, Justin, by the way. He says, fellas, what y'all think about what Foles said about Patullo going to the booth to call plays like Fangio so he can see the whole field?
I think that's a great idea, but it comes to what Kevin Patullo is more comfortable with.
Well, he comes with in Oregon.
It's very difficult. If you've ever been on the sideline of a live game, I don't care if it's Little League, high school, the looks you get at ground level, it's very hard to figure out what's going on. It's very hard to see. Stoutland he needs to be on the ground because he got to talk to the guys. But offensive coordinators, I've seen offensive coordinators in the booth. I've seen them on the ground. It all depends on what you're comfortable with. So I don't disagree with what he said, but that's a feel. That's your particular flavor. Some guys like to do that. Some guys want to be down where they can talk to people. I need to talk to the quarterback right now. That sort of thing. So, I'm not doing okay right now. I love that screen name. Yeah, I'm scared if they lose again, they might blow his house up. Talk about the eggs. Yeah.
I made y'all mad with that take. I made y'all mad. Yo, I made them mad because I'm indifferent, man. I made them sick with that one, man.
No, man. You just wait till you get your own house.
Because look. I'm gonna tell you right now. If some kids egg my house right now, I'll be madder than a motherfucker.
Wait till you get a house. And like me and my wife, we on a corner. So we get a bus stop.
Ooh,
so I gotta, I done been that guy that had to walk outside while the kids was waiting for the bus stop. And I took my trash can out there. And I was like, please stop putting all this trash in my yard. Use the trash can to do something, or I'm gonna call the school. And that's what he ended up doing. And they moved the bus stop. Sometimes you got to be that dude. Don't mess with the. Nah, don't do that.
Look. Again, my adult brain. See, I believe as humans we're multifaceted. We're we should be able to practice some level of duality.
Like my man said, Tone, just take that L and keep it moving, bro.
Oh no, not enough for me. I'm straight. I have the courage of my convictions,
moving, bro.
I have the courage of my convictions, baby.
Oh my god! And the next one, Green Week Man says you have a team in the Bengals that are far worse offensive line, decent running back, still able to put 200+ yards in the game. This is not acceptable.
Yeah,
I referenced Joe Flacco many times when it comes to this situation because Joe Flacco said when he first got traded to Cincinnati, and they played him that first week he was down there. He was down there less than a week. And he said, when you don't know the offense, you find the best receiver on the team and you find a way to get him the ball.
He barely know the offense. Hey, where'd Jamar Chase at?
And you know what he did? He threw slants and more slants. And Jamar Chase caught all of them. So it's not hard to do when you want to do it. It's not hard to do a skinny pitch when you want to do it. This is a copycat league. Just take a little bit. Use somebody else's recipe every now and then, man. Just, come on, Kel.
I feel you.
All right, what was that?
All right, what we got next? William Johnson with the Dubskis. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Fellas, great content. I'm not a coach nor have any coach talent, period, but played. Whether I had won the championship or not, I still would have had at least one brain cell to change my concepts next year. Dog, who you telling, man? That's what I'm saying. I be wondering what they doing with their time, bro. Like this
is gonna be Jalen's legacy, man. Unfortunately, if we don't get an offensive coordinator that's gonna stick around, we need a version. We need an offensive version
of Vic Fangio.
We need
I think it's harder to find that on offense because
it is.
Offensive coaches are always getting hired, and when you try to go to the next young hot guy, he wants to be a head coach.
That's what I'm saying. I mean? We need somebody like Vic. We need an OG
that's content.
That's content, but don't want to move nowhere. We lucked out with Fangio
for sure. They're lucky he's from Scranton.
Free from Scranton, and the way the whole situation went down with Miami, we got lucky with him. And we got him at the right time. He don't want to go nowhere, so he gonna be here for a minute. We need an offensive coordinator like that.
He gonna retire.
That can stick with Jalen for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, man. At least to the end of his contract.
And that's the thing, man. I feel like we're never going to see Jalen Hurts at the peak of his powers.
No, we're not.
Because
I would even be up for bringing back Doug Peterson, because I know Doug Peterson can coach quarterback.
Yeah, but
Jalen was throwing the ball better when Doug was here.
That thing went sour. That thing went sour, and that's over with.
Yeah, it's water under the dam now. I'm just saying that we got to get somebody that's going to be here for a while. We have to. We can't have a quarterback. We got a quarterback that went to the Super Bowl twice in 3 years, and every time he's had a different offensive coordinator,
and he's been underserved.
So just imagine what we could do if we had somebody that stayed.
It's so underestimated the impact that has on a player's development.
You're right. And it's a shame because Jalen Hurts will never get the respect he deserves, even though he's a Super Bowl MVP. He will never get the respect he deserves until he throws the ball better, until he's averaging 279 yards a game, and until he's putting those stats, until he can consistently throw for 4,000+ yards in the season 2 and 3 consecutive years in a row, they are not going to respect him. The only way they're going to respect Jalen Hurts again is if he goes back and wins another Super Bowl. That's it. Yeah, then they're going to bitch about it.
Yeah.
They're going to say he got lucky. They're going to say he got carried again. They're going to have every excuse in the world. They're going to continue to move the goalposts. And I'm okay with that because I ain't got to listen while I'm shining my ring.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. He got to get 2 of them though.
Yeah,
He got to get
absolutely.
2.
Absolutely.
All right, what's the next one?
Green
Green Wingman.
Start to wonder how much Nick is involved in the offense for a
For a
COO
CEO
coach.
For CEO coach. That
CEO coach, okay. Watching the game on full, he never had a flow of the game to guide KP when he gets flustered in play calling. I don't know if I believe that, because I believe sometimes Sirianni might be in his ear. That's just my opinion.
I told y'all, man, when I get to a point in the season where like I'm just speechless. Ellen Small here says maybe if KP sits in the box with Vic, he could see better.
Possibly. That's a flavor thing.
Yeah.
Some people like that, some people don't.
Yeah.
Some people want to be where the action is. Some people just want to oversee and just talk on the radio. So that's a feel thing. So whatever, if he wants to be on the field, let him be on the field, because that's where he thinks he's best.
His ass should be in the unemployment line. Just keeping it a buck with you.
Oh my God, next year he'll be on somebody's NCAA team.
Fucking bum. Anyway,
because if we go through the offseason and they keep him, now I'm looking at Howie like, really?
They're not keeping him. We got one more super chat. That came in. Dagger came in at the bottom.
Darth Panda.
No, it literally just came in.
Right,
I will say this though: the fact that Sirianni doesn't call plays is one of the reasons why we would never see Jalen Hurts at the peak of his powers. It's partially the reason, because what happens is, coaches go through OCs and staff all the time, right? But when you have that anchor at coach that knows what he's doing in that regard, the blow isn't as you don't take the damage isn't as large. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dagger 81703. Damn it, Shane! All you had to do was be asked for one more year with the Colts. We could have had you back. Now with Carly calling the shots. Carly Ursay got it on lock over there.
Yeah, they lost too, which is great. Well, it's not crazy because I'm telling you, I think they're cooked. I'm gonna tell you why. It's a hot take, but that Daniel Jones injury more serious than what they talking about.
Oh yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
not because of what they doing on the field, because they got like anybody else.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
I'm with you.
Anyway, y'all, that's the show, man. We I think we had a good show today, man.
Listen, I don't want none of y'all trying to find Tone throwing eggs. You hear me?
They can't find me, man. They can't find me. They can't find me, man.
All right, Tone,
listen. I'll give you a hint. I'm in Texas. I'm in Texas. Just letting you know. Give you a little hint.
Cue the Beyonce music. All right, we're gonna get up on out of here, man.
Yeah, man. Marcus, as always, man, we agreed, we disagreed, we laughed, we cried.
That was a good show.
But at the end of the day, man, we got it done.
Got it done, bro.
You guys, subscribe to Pro Fan Talk. Make sure you guys subscribe to Chalk It Up Sports. Smash the like button. He's Marcus Thomas, the player. I'm Tony Shields the second, the emotional one. And it's straight like that. You guys have been tuned into the Bald Eagles podcast. We out of here. Fly Eagles fly.
Go Birds.
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight, Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Marcus got the scoop ready to ignite, from the lanes of South Street to the Broad Street lights. Dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Fly guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. I like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Marcus always